I don't think I have to tell you that doing exercises incorrectly can actually do more harm than good. And in this video, I'm going to show you the top 5 exercises that are done incorrectly and then show you how to do them correctly so you don't injure yourself. And wait till the end of the video because the last one I'm going to show you is probably the most crucial exercise that most people do. Hi, Dr. Malka here, your chiropractor and acupuncturist practicing in Los Angeles, California. Let's get started. So the first one I'm going to show you is the bridge. And you saw that on the thumbnail. So with bridging, oftentimes how it's done incorrectly is people will come up and arch the back and really come all the way up, putting strain on the neck like this. So the way a bridge should be done, and bridging, by the way, is a really good core exercise, and you can see some other videos I have several on core exercises, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and even core exercises for postpartum women. Okay, so to do a proper bridge, you want to tighten the stomach, bring the belly button into the spine, tighten the glutes. That helps to just stabilize this whole area here. We're just locking all these muscles in, and that helps to protect the spine. Then when you come up first with the buttocks, and then you lift the spine. And then as you're coming up, you should keep that low back perfectly straight. No arching at all. You really need to keep this area tucked in. And then come up. Never come up higher than just a straight line right here. So you don't want to over lift because now I'm arching my low back, potentially creating injury. And then I'm going to tilt. Now for some people, they're not stable enough. They can't get in this flat area without arching the spine. If that's you, just back off a little, but just always make sure this pelvis is tucked. And then when you're coming out of it, just come vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. And then again, the buttocks is the last to come down. Then we can repeat that. Let's review that again. Tighten the stomach, tighten the buttocks, tilt the pelvis like you're pushing your low back into the ground. Lift the buttock first, and then the rest of the spine comes up like this and nice and straight. Plank is another wonderful pelvic stabilization exercise that's often done incorrectly. This is a proper plank. I'm nice and straight. Everything's tucked in. Sometimes you'll see people doing things like this, or lifting the buttocks up, or maybe their arms are too far back and they're putting stress on their wrists like this. So a proper plank is done where the arms are in a straight line with the shoulders. You're not leaning forward. You're not coming back like this. Now when you come up into the plank, you're on your toes. And then you make sure, just kind of eyeball it. If you want to do this in front of a mirror, just make sure the spine is nice and flat. If this is too difficult, just do a plank on your knees. And then there's another plank, if you have wrist issues, where you can just come right down onto your forearms. So if you have wrist issues, this is a great way to do a great pelvic stabilization exercise without hurting your wrists. Opposite arm leg. An opposite arm leg is bringing the leg back like this and the arm up like this. Again, it's oftentimes done incorrectly because perhaps this arm is too far back, putting strain on this wrist again, just like we had in planks. And then also some people overlift the leg or the arm. And what that does is that puts an unnecessary and dangerous arch in your low back. So everything should be nice and even. The head too, no looking up, just straight like this, and arm straight forward. And you're trying to bring the arm as far forward as you can and the leg as far back as you can, nice and straight. Pelvis is not dropping. Whole pelvis is even. Now let's do Superman. This is a really good low back strengthening exercise, but oftentimes people will lift up like this and arch their neck, and that's really unhealthy for the low back and the neck. So the height is really not what's important here. What's important is that we keep the head nice and straight, The shoulders roll back. You're not focusing so much on lifting the arms like this, but more rolling the shoulders back. Squeezing those shoulder blades together strengthens the upper back. And then you just lift up until pretty much just your knees are off the floor. Lifting up too much puts an unhealthy arch in the low back, and you want to avoid that. Just be nice and gentle with your body. This is all you need to do right here. Just maybe an inch or two off the floor, knees perfectly straight, shoulders rolled back. So now it's crunch time. And boy, am I doing this all wrong and really potentially hurting my back. So the idea with ab workouts, which is what we're focusing on here, is that you always want to work the muscle the way you use the muscle. For instance, with my arm, I'm going to pick up an object, and you see how my hand moves in a plane? But the thing with the abdominals is they're just pelvic stabilizers. So unless you're walking around and doing a lot of bowing, you're just not using the abdominals in this fashion. Much like the Superman we just did. I'm not going up and down with the Superman, I'm just holding it because the low back and the abdominals are pelvic stabilizers. So this is how you do a proper sit-up. You want to bring your legs up like this, or you can put them on a chair, or you could just leave them down as well. And what you want to do is just a little quarter-size pressure on the neck, bring the head up, and just hold it. And to prepare for this also, you want to do the same thing we did with bridging, bringing the belly button into the spine, tighten the glutes, very light pressure right here at the base of the skull, just enough to support the neck, but not pulling the head, because that's bad for the neck. Come up and hold it. And if you want to, if this is not enough, you could even put a weight on your chest. But after you hold this here for a little while, you'll feel it. And if you're having your legs up in the air like this, you'll feel it twice as much. Now, also, people want to exercise the oblique muscles, and they tend to do it like this twisting, which again is very bad for the low back. So you know how you can open a jar from the top or the bottom? We're going to be opening up the jar from the bottom. Just simply bring your legs over like this. Again, very light fingers on the base of the skull. Tighten the stomach muscles, tighten the buttocks, and just lift and hold. And I'm getting those obliques really nicely. And try to twist over, in this case, to the right, opposite the legs as much as possible. And just hold it. You can hold it here for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Relax down. And then the other side again, bringing the legs over like this. And by the way, this is a wonderful low back stretch as well. And then hands delicately on the base of the skull, tighten the stomach, tighten the buttocks, and just lift. Trying again to twist as much as you can to the opposite side of the legs. And hold it here. Well, I really hope you benefited from this video. And if you did, like, subscribe, comment. And in the comment sections, if there's anything you want me to review or a video you want me to make, just make sure to indicate that.